Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is something a little different, but something I said I was going to do on my channel for a while. I'm going to be setting up my month of January in my Archer and Olive Navy Blue Constellation Journal. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Just so you know, I do have a video coming soon where I'm going to compare the Archer and Olive Journal to the Leuchtturm Journal that I used in 2018. And then as well as my Explorer Journal, which I used in 2019, and a flip through for my 2019 Explorer Journal is coming probably in the next week or so. I just have to do some editing and the voiceover for that. But yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you guys. I am really excited to use this journal because I've heard it's really great quality. And I will be doing my 2020 flip through because when I filmed the setup video, it didn't turn out really well, and I didn't want to put that out because it was really, I lost some footage during my editing process, so I just didn't want to share that with you guys. So I'm going to do the flip through before we set up January, which makes this video a little longer, and I do apologize for that, but I thought you guys would like to see how I set up for 2020. Anyway, so I'm going to open up my journal and take you through the little flip through first. So here's my front cover. I absolutely love how this turned out. I love the stamp down the front there, and I'm actually going to do one in the back of my journal as well. And I love this little birdcage stamp. It's crooked, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me too much, and I just wrote my name on the front of the page. I taped the first two pages together just because I'm not going to be using them, and they're just going to annoy me, so don't mind that. That's why it's a little thick. Right on the front here, I have my key, and for the key, I'm using a circle for task, a color circle for task completed, a circle with a line crossed through it for canceled, an arrow for task migrated, a box for notes, a star for important, a triangle for event, and an exclamation point for idea. I think I'm just a little bit ahead here when I'm doing the voiceover, but that's okay. And then just behind the key, sorry, on the other page I have my quote, which is my Year of Yes, which is done by Lizzie Saltzman from Legacies. If you've ever seen that show, it's quite a good show. And this is definitely going to be my Year of Yes, so I'm not going to talk too much more about that. And I actually loved how my quote page turned out. I love the feather behind the wording, and if you couldn't tell, my setup theme was feathers, bohemian, and using like a Northern Lights colors as coloring in the feathers. So I love how the page turned out, and I'm going to flip ahead to my, what's this page called? To my A Year at a Glance. And then this future log I actually took from another journal and I put in beside it, so it's not actually part of the notebook and it doesn't come with the notebook. I put it in myself, and I just taped it down, and I really love how it turned out because I can unfold the pages and see them as I'm working in my journal, which is really helpful for me. And I love how the columns go down and all the numbers are there. And yeah, onto my Year at a Glance. So very simple, and I didn't do any designs on here because this page is already really busy enough. So anyways, I'm going to flip ahead. I'm sorry if this voiceover is a bit off. This is my first time doing it for a bullet journal. So here's just my telly show page where I'm just going to list all the shows I watch. And it's not that I watch too many shows that I can't remember. It's just that, sometimes they come on at different times of the year and I want to write that down. So I just want to know the names of the shows I already watched. But yeah, it's pretty basic page and quite helpful for myself, but maybe not for other people. And I'll write like my Netflix shows I'm watching too, and I can always check off if I've done them or whatnot. So anyways, I think I'm gonna flip ahead. I'm still getting used to all this voiceover thing, so my hand motions might be a bit off. I'm just pointing out the feather design and that it works with my other feather, and that for the key I just did the coloring behind the words because I wanted something there for visual interest. And I'm talking more about my future log, my tele shows. Okay, this next page is a year in Polaroids. So each month I'll put a Polaroid for the month of the year a Polaroid in that represents the month for me or something that I really loved doing that month. And at the end of the year I'll have a picture for each month, hopefully, and that'll be really fun to look back on. I love my 2019 one, and you guys will see that in the next video. And yeah, I fit 4 on each page, but you guys will see it as I do it. I'll probably fill it out. Here is my bucket list page, and I'm going to have fill this out and have like the task at the side going in the jar, maybe inside the jar as well. And I've always wanted to do a bucket list page, so I'm really excited I got to do it, and I love the way it turned out. The actual jar was a stamp that I did, so I can always show you guys later of how to set up this page, although it seems pretty basic. Here's my 2018 goals page, my 2020 goals page, and what I'm planning to do here is write all my goals down. So I like to set realistic goals, not like I want $1 million, but goals that I'm excited to do. So one of my goals this year is to walk my dog more. Now, living in Canada, we have snow like a lot of the year, and sometimes I just don't walk her when I should because I don't want to go out in the cold. And I mean, it's understandable, but I want to walk her more just for her. And I think I was aiming for 3 days a week. I think that's what I've written down, that I'm gonna 3 or 4 days a week to walk her. She's a small dog, and she's also has special needs because of her heart condition. So 3 days or 4 days might not seem a lot for some dogs, but for her it's quite big. So anyways, that's just an example of some of the goals I'm setting for myself this year. I can always go through making a video on setting goals and, you know, making them realistic for yourself, but I feel like there's already some really great videos out there. But let me know in the comments if you want me to do that or not. And I just did the watercolor behind the lettering, and I really loved how that turned out because it gives this page some visual interest. And with the feathers, I didn't color them in because I colored the wording. So yeah, and I think I'm off still. I'm doing funny hand movements that I'm not used to. And the last page in my 2020 setup was my period log. Now, I got this idea from Miss McKenna's Life Leverage, or maybe it's just Miss McKenna now, but it was for someone like me who's extremely irregular. I know that might be TMI. I really need a setup like this so that, you know, when I go to my doctor, if I have any concerns, I can say, well, I got my period such and such in January, or maybe I missed February, I got it in March. So, and it's also good if you're trying to get pregnant because you can adjust this to add like, oh, I'm ovulating on the 10th and I get my period on the 16th, and so that you can track that. And then this next page beside it is just my January cover page, and you can already see that I've set up my calendar and my tracker page in pencil. So everything's set up in pencil, and I just have to go and draw it in. And that was just to save some time on this video. So here's my cover page that I've done. And I did the painting beforehand. I did the wolf and the rock in ink. The moon is done in watercolor as well as the background. And for the background, I just did this navy blue, and then I did a light black tint over top. And for the wording, I'm using this set that I got, which is like a bubble letters tracer. And that's just because my my writing is absolutely terrible and it really bothers me. So anyways, let's get into setting up the calendar. So I'm just doing a basic calendar for January. This is my main planning. This is where I write everything down when I work, if I have appointments, like everything is done on this page. So this page needs to be extremely basic for me. There will be some months where I'll probably do some designs on it, but I need the space, so I don't do a notes section. I don't do anything else except my calendar, on this page because I just need the room. And I do add a drop shadow you'll see later on, and that's just to give it some visual interest and keep in with the theme. The theme actually was pretty basic besides the painting. I just do one other piece, which actually didn't turn out well, but I'll get into that when I'll show you guys. But yeah, so I just used the one of the smaller tracers to make the wording. And I go from, my weeks are Sunday to Saturday. Some people do Monday to Sunday, but like with my work and everything, my weeks go from Sunday to Saturday, so that's how I set it up. And then I just did like little dots with watercolor, and I added the numbers in afterwards. But honestly, there's not really much to say on this page because it is just so simple, and that's what I wanted. That's how I liked it. So yeah, I think that's really all I can say about this page. There's not really too much to say. I mean, it's a pretty basic spread, and you guys can see how I'm setting it up. But I'm excited to use it because when you see my 2019 flip through of my bullet journal, I used an Explorer journal, which was about half the size of an A5, and I was just fitting my calendar pages in, and there were some months that I just didn't use my calendar. I used like notebooks and stuff, and that didn't work out. So I'm so excited to be back into an A5, and yeah, I'll have so much more space, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, I don't really have too much more to say about this page. I think I said that about 3 times now, but honestly, it's just simple. And like I said, I'm really liking this theme, and just because it's simple, and I've done some big themes. When you see my 2019 flip through, like I did a Lion King theme, and I went like full out. So sometimes it's nice for me to do a smaller theme, and I finally got to break into my watercolors, which I haven't done in a while because in my Explorer journal it couldn't handle watercolors, so I just didn't do it. But this time I actually used watercolor paper to do this painting, and I think I'm going to film how I do my paintings if I do one for the next video, but I didn't think I needed to do it for this video because this video is already going to be so long. So yeah. I'm just coloring in I really like the letters from the tracing set to be colored in. I just find it gives them a bit more oomph. Is that what I'm trying to say? I think so. And just a bit more visual interest. I mean, it's a pretty basic spread, so it's nice to have the coloring on the letters. And just so you guys know, I have carpal tunnel, so setting up my bullet journal every month actually kills my hand. Even like in my Explorer journal, it just kills my hand. I don't know why. So if you guys have any problems like that, I recommend taking lots of breaks, because I did. Oh, you can see I had a photo on my desk, and my elbow hit the desk, and then it came tumbling down. And I don't know if you guys noticed the lighting change in this video too, because one of my light bulbs blew. I don't know why. But yeah, it was pretty scary actually. Anyways, you can see I'm breaking into my watercolors here, and I just set up that navy blue color. I got this watercolor palette from Scrawlrbox actually, and I think I talked about it in my oil painting Scrawlrbox that I did, that I like to reuse the supplies I like, and that is 100% true. So it's nice to show you guys how I use it in different things other than like a Scrawlrbox challenge. So, and I'm just adding the drop shadow. I got the drop shadow idea from Amanda Rach Lee, because she's like queen of using drop shadows. But I have to say, it does help. Like, it does make, I don't know how it adds it, but it makes the calendar just look a little bit extra, like better, I mean, than without it. So, and it helps keep it helps keep this page in theme. So I just waited for it to dry, and then I went in with the dots, and I wrote the numbers on top. I probably should have written them in white because it's hard to see sometimes, but honestly, I can tell you, like, because I set it up so that I don't have any extra boxes, so I can tell you the month starts on Wednesday and ends on Friday. So, I mean, the numbers are just there because it is a calendar, but it doesn't really affect anything if I can't read them all that well. But anyways, I just checked to see if the watercolor was dry, so that when I would flip the pages, I wasn't going to get it stuck to my journal, because I've done that before, and it is not fun. When you're trying to open the page and it's dried shut to another page, like, You feel like such a Dumbo. Yeah. I think I'm gonna flip on now. Yeah. Okay. So the next page I'm gonna set up is my trackers. So I do my habits and my health tracker all in one. For those who don't know, I actually suffer with a chronic illness, chronic migraine syndrome, as well as I have some nasal problems because my nose is severely damaged, and I don't have a sense of smell. But I mean, that doesn't affect anything really. But yeah, so I set up my health tracker a certain way, and I will never change that because I find this works for me. So I set up my habits at the top in the big box, and then I set up my health things down at the bottom. I think I'm going to switch them around just a little bit, like what I put in the boxes, but the boxes themselves won't change. So the first one is sleep, and the middle one is, the second one is mood, then I have headaches, and then I have yuck, like if I'm feeling really crappy. And I actually got this kind of setup idea from Miss McKenna's Life Leverage because she also suffers with a chronic illness, and she does track it in her bullet journal as well. So I find it really helpful to watch her set up her health trackers because I suffer with chronic illness, and I wanted to document it. Like, I take this to my doctors and everything, and I show them, and it's really helpful for stuff like that. And the habits I track are really just simple things, but things that I like to track. So I track walking my dog, when I change my bird's water, when I change her papers for her bird cage, the pet's water, so when I change their bowls around the house, plants, like if I've done any plant care, if I've taken my medication that day, because I'm bad with forgetting, so I track that. I track when I do my cat litter, because I mean, I try and do it every couple days, but sometimes I forget, so it's nice to look back and say, did I do it yesterday or not? When I shower, and that's not because I don't shower or anything, it's just because I like to know if I just do that at the end of the month. I just like to know how much showering I did, and it's really just for curiosity's sake. But then I track self-care if I've done something to work on myself, my podcasts, my business, when I vacuum, when I clean the bathroom, and when I do laundry, because I tend to avoid doing laundry, so I need to see how much I'm doing it in a month and if I can adjust that or not. And again, I'm just going to go in and color the word trackers in because I used the tracing on that. But again, this is a simple page for me. I may add more when I do different themes during the year, but I really like this page again to be simple because I'm using it, hopefully. I tend to forget to fill this in if I get tired or busy or sick or whatever, but I'm really going to try harder to do that this year. Yeah, but again, this needs to be a simple page for me. I do need it to be visually pleasing as well, so like, I don't need it to be messy, but yeah, simple is key for me on these pages because I need the room to track or make notes or whatever. So I'm just flipping on to my brain dump. This page beside it I'm leaving blank because I'm not sure if I'm going to do a moon tracker. Like, I want to track the moon for the moons for January, the moon cycle, or if I want to do something else. I'm just undecided with what I want to do with this page, so I'm leaving it blank for now. And when you guys see the flip through next, when I do my February plan with me, I'll show you flip through of January, so you'll end up seeing what I did with this page. But yeah, I'm just moving on to my brain dump page, and I'm trying to do this. This is the other art I guess I did for this month, and I was trying to do it this, like, the moon coming through the trees, and like you just see the outline of the wolf because I didn't do any details on it. I didn't do any details on my first one either because, like, if it was standing in the nighttime, that was what it was supposed to be. You would just see you would just see the shadow of it, but you wouldn't see any features. So that's again what I was trying to recreate here, but it didn't really work out. I'm not sure if it's just how I did my trees. I was going to do them in watercolor and do them kind of like a basic outline because I am working on drawing trees. Trees are kind of hard for me. I don't know why. Maybe they're just too simple and I overthink it. But yeah, I tried to do some trees here, but it ended up just looking like a big bush. I'm not really sure what went on here, but yeah, it didn't really end up working out like I wanted it to, so I like the wolf. I wish I hadn't just kept the wolf, but anyways, yeah, so there's not really much I can say about it. I'm looking at it now as I'm doing it, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna hate that after. I do. I still hate it when I look at it on my brain dump page, but oh well. You have to try things to learn things, so I'm gonna probably look up some videos here on YouTube on how to do trees in watercolor and in pen, and then maybe I'll try and recreate this at some point. I don't know. But I do really like this theme. I was trying to go for like a howling at the moon type of theme. And like I said, I do like how it turned out, and it's so simple. I think at the end of the year, I might do an Arctic theme, like in December, just to fill in the year in total. I think that would be really, really cool. As I'm doing this, I'm watching my dog chew on something that she probably shouldn't be chewing on, and I want to yell at Luna, but then it's going to be in the video, so yeah, I don't know what she was chewing on. Anyways, yeah, so this takes me a while, and I skipped ahead so that you guys wouldn't have to watch me. See, it looks like a big bush. I'm not sure what went wrong here. And the proportions are off. Like, the trees would be a lot higher than that if the wolf was that tall. I made him kind of look short. Maybe it's a girl. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to watercolor in the moon because I was trying to save this, but then the moon just looks awkward because I used ink. I used like oh, what did I use? I used a what are those I used a 0.5. La la la. I'm having a brain fart. I used an ink pen. I can't even think of the name right now. To do my wolf, and then I used just a regular pen to do the trees, which it's not as dark as like the ink pens are. So fine liner. I used a fine liner to do the wolf, and it comes out pure black. So the trees were done with just a regular pen, and that didn't come out. It kind of has like a purple hue to it almost. And so the moon, the trees, and the wolf, it all kind of looks a little awkward together. But yeah, you guys see what I mean. It kind of looks like a big bush and then there's a gap there. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't think I can save this, but I may end up redoing this page just because I don't like it. But yeah, and then I just wrote brain dump up the top just to keep in line with the lettering theme. And oh my gosh, I'm looking at it now and I'm like, what have I done? Don't recreate this drawing unless you can fix it because you will hate it, I swear. Yeah, okay. I think we're going to be moving on, yeah. Okay, so this is my first weekly page, and it's actually going to be my last page of my setup, which is exciting. So, I haven't never done weeklies before. I bullet journaled in 2019, and I only used my calendar page. And in 2018, I tried bullet journaling in the Loistram, and it wasn't the journal's fault. I ended up failing in August, and I hated my bullet journal so much. Oh gosh, TV just turned on. I hated my bullet journal so much, just the way I had done the pages, that I ended up ripping them all apart. So there is no 2018 bullet journal, because I destroyed it in, like, anger. Because I just did not like it so much. Which is why I'm so happy I got through 2019, because I liked the way my journal turned out. Random music just popped up. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, so what was I saying? Jeez, you can tell I'm doing this late at night, so I apologize. This is not the best voiceover. This probably isn't the best bullet journaling video, but I'm trying, guys. And I will get better. I'm practicing my voiceovers. I'm doing them more and more. But yeah, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so I never did weeklies in my 2019 or even in my 2018. So this is the first year I'm doing weeklies, and I'm excited to do it. Although I screwed up because I was going to do all 7 weeks, or all 7 days. But then I realized that there's only 4 days the first week of January. So I ended up adding in this meal plan because I do want to meal plan. That's one of my goals of 2019 is to meal plan every Sunday night for the rest of the week. And that way I can cook, like if I think on Tuesday I'm going to be having grilled cheese for lunch, I can make it so that it's already made and ready to go. I just have to cook it. And the same with, like, I'm going to be making some breakfast sandwiches, like homemade breakfast sandwiches. That way they're ready to go and I can have a good, healthy breakfast when I wake up in the morning. And that, because I tend to, if I get up early, I tend to not eat, which isn't good. And then I don't eat till later, and then I overeat. So I want to have the healthy options ready for me, because I find I will eat healthy foods if they're ready to go. If I have to make them or put in work, I tend not to eat them. So, yeah, meal planning is one of my goals for this year. So I did plan to have a whole page for meal planning for the month, but I totally miscalculated how many pages I need. So I was going to use that blank page for it, but I don't think that's a good idea because I want to put other things on there. So, but next month you'll see I'm going to set up a whole meal planning page depending on how it goes. Sorry. Depending on how it goes this week and then this month in general. So, yeah. Anyways, that is really it, guys. I'm just going to write out the meal plan in the tracing, and then I'm again going to do the week number 1 in my letters using the tracing, the bigger tracer. And I just added a little calendar at the top and watercolored in the like 1 to 4 just to show that we're on this week. And then I also go back in with my watercolor and I do watercolor over the numbers. And my plan is for the rest of my weeks, I'm going to alternate between the yellow from the moon and then the blue, just to keep with the theme, because I don't think I'm going to do any designs on this monthly weeks, just because I don't feel like it. And it was already a simple theme, so I want to keep it simple. And that's really it, guys. This is the end of the video, so I'm really thankful you guys stuck through the whole 28 minutes and 51 seconds, which is how long this video is. But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for the support, and I'm excited to introduce this new content. I'm just doing a final flip through, so just what I did, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I'm going to work on my voiceover skills so that they're a little bit better, because few things went awry, and this is like my 4th or 5th attempt. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Milque and Luna love you. Peace, hugs, and hippie love.